The news is real, and it's big. The kind of headline that doesn't just change the course of conversation, but can alter the future of an entire franchise. But before I tell you the details, hit the like button if you've been a fan for 30 plus years and tell me, who do you think was the greatest Browns player of all time? Let me know in the comments. Now, the Cleveland Browns are one step closer to turning a decades-old dream into reality. And it's not just about concrete and steel. It's about identity, influence, and the end of an era on the lakefront. Because earlier this week in Columbus, lawmakers did something that Browns fans need to understand for what it is, a seismic move in the history of this team. They approved $600 million in state funding. And yes, that's taxpayer money helping to fund a new indoor stadium in Brook Park. This isn't speculation. This isn't rumor. It's happening. Jimmy and D. Haslam aren't just pleased. They're overjoyed, practically doing cartwheels in celebration. And if you're a Browns fan, this is the moment to lean in, because what this means for the future of football in Cleveland is more than just a new venue. It's a tectonic shift in direction, a deliberate choice to leave behind not just a location, but a philosophy. Let's rewind. This didn't come out of nowhere. There's been tension, real tension, between the Haslam ownership group and the city of Cleveland. Mayor Justin Bibb had the city file a lawsuit against the Browns for allegedly violating the Art Modell law. That same quirky piece of Ohio legislation crafted to keep what happened in 1995 from ever happening again. No more teams sneaking away like the Browns did to Baltimore. But here's the thing. The law was always on shaky ground. The Browns weren't leaving the state. They weren't even leaving the county. They were moving 15 miles southwest to Brook Park. That's not betrayal. That's evolution. And that's what lawmakers in Columbus recognized. When they passed the new state budget, they didn't just greenlight the $600 million. They also updated the Art Modell law. Now, because the Browns are staying in Cuyahoga County, it's no longer a violation. Just like that, the lawsuit from the city is over. The Haslams won. No shock there. Billionaires usually do. But let's not let the headlines blind us to what's coming next. A domed stadium, a totally new experience, and possibly, just possibly, the beginning of a new legacy. Now you're probably asking, when's the first shovel hitting the ground? Good question. The current lease at Cleveland Browns Stadium, Huntington Bank Field, runs through the end of the 2028 season. The goal is to have the new stadium in Brook Park ready for kickoff in 2029. That means construction starts in early 2026. Weather permitting, of course. Maybe you've heard that building through Ohio winters isn't easy, but the timeline adds up. Look at what Buffalo and Tennessee have pulled off. Those new stadiums are progressing without major delays. Could it be done in 3 years? Absolutely. Still, not everyone's thrilled. There's a sentimental bond to the lakefront. That stadium, flawed as it is, holds memories. But here's the hard truth. It was never viable long-term. The surrounding area wasn't growing. It lacked the pregame buzz, the nightlife, the economic pull that modern stadiums aim to create. You've got a museum, sure, but what else? Not much. No bars, no restaurants, no hotels. And renovating the current stadium would be like throwing good money after bad, patching up an old car that's not even worth the cost of the repairs. It opened in 1999, and let's be honest, it was rushed. They cut corners. It's not aging well. Stories of skunks in the stadium? Embarrassing, but true. Some say, why not just fix it? Because pumping $50 to $100 million into that venue over a decade won't change its DNA. It's still outdated. It still lacks the infrastructure of a modern NFL facility. And when you look around the league, from Las Vegas to Inglewood, the standard has changed. The Browns need to catch up. Brook Park offers that chance. Here's the real lightning rod. The dome. For years, we've clung to this romantic idea that AFC North football should be played outside, in the elements, in the cold. Tough guys in freezing rain. That's how it's supposed to be, right? Maybe. But has it worked for the Browns? No. Has Cleveland dominated December football because of the weather? Not even close. They've never won the AFC North. Not once. So maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop clinging to tradition and start making smarter choices. You give the Browns a dome. You give them a real shot at hosting playoff games, something they haven't done since their return in 1999. Think about that. How electric would it be to kick off a postseason run under a closed roof in 2029? It's time to rewrite the rules. It's time to give this team the tools to compete. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. As exciting as this is, it's not a done deal. Not yet. There are still political steps ahead. Governor Mike DeWine could veto the funding. That would throw a wrench into everything. But based on what's happened this week, it feels like momentum is finally on the Browns' side. What do you think? Is this the right move for the Browns? Or is something valuable being left behind at the lakefront? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And here's where things get even more interesting. Because while the stadium itself is the headline, what's playing just beneath the surface is something much bigger. Control. For the first time in a long time, the Browns aren't reacting to a situation, they're dictating it. The Haslams, love them or hate them, have drawn a line in the turf and said, we're not just keeping up anymore, we're stepping forward. They've secured massive public funding, rewritten legal obstacles, and picked a location that could fundamentally change how the franchise operates and how it's perceived nationally. Brook Park isn't just a suburb, it's a blank slate. No legacy limitations, no historical baggage. It's a place where the Browns can finally build a modern football ecosystem, restaurants, hotels, nightlife, a full entertainment district that keeps fans engaged before and after games. That's been the model in places like Dallas, Atlanta, and now Buffalo. This is about more than Sunday afternoons. It's about year-round revenue, experience, and identity. Still, it's impossible to talk about this transition without hearing the emotional weight in fans' voices. That lakefront view? Iconic. The win off Lake Erie? Legendary. But nostalgia doesn't win playoff games. And the facts are clear. The stadium isn't helping the Browns. It's holding them back. For all the talk of home field advantage, Cleveland's December record doesn't show it. The weather hasn't been an ally. It's been a neutralizer. A domed stadium gives the Browns consistency, and that might just be what this franchise has always lacked. And let's talk about player attraction. Do you think top-tier free agents are excited to sign up for brutal wind chills and frozen turf? Or would they rather play indoors in a climate-controlled venue with elite facilities? The NFL is a business. Comfort matters. Facilities matter. If Brook Park delivers on its promise, the Browns could start landing bigger names and building stronger rosters. That dome? It's not just about the fans. It's about the future. Now picture it, it's 2029, the first season in the new stadium. The roof is closed, the crowd is roaring, and for the first time in what feels like forever, the Browns are hosting a playoff game at home. No snow delays. Number 40 mph gusts blowing field goals off course. Just football. Fast, focused, competitive football. That's the vision. That's what this move is about. Of course, the skeptics will say, we've heard promises before. And they're right to be cautious. Stadium projects often balloon in cost, hit delays, or fall short of their grand vision. But the difference this time? The Browns have clarity. They have funding. And, perhaps most critically, they have leverage. The city of Cleveland lost this round, and unless the governor steps in with a veto, the Browns are marching forward. And let's not forget the context. This stadium wasn't rushed through. It wasn't a backroom deal. The funding came through bipartisan support. Lawmakers across the aisle agreed, this isn't just a football move, it's an economic one. It's about jobs, tourism, and putting Cleveland back on the map for national events. Super Bowls. Final Fours. Concerts. Things the current stadium could never offer. And that's where we leave this part of the story, on the edge of what could be a bold new chapter for the Cleveland Browns. A chapter written not in nostalgia, but in strategy. Not in frozen mud, but in opportunity. The dome is coming. Brook Park is calling. And everything could be different from here on out. What do you think? Is this the turning point the Browns have needed? Or is this a gamble with too much on the line? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Go Browns!